specific to that currency, but I think there's something else that happened last week. Is that I viewed last week, when you go look at quite a number of charts, as being corrective from the previous couple of weeks' trends. And maybe that's what's happening. So which supports your thesis, Paul, that I think probably, again, looking below Thursday's chart, I'd have a bit of a problem. That's the point where everybody's been caught. At the moment, that just looks like an inside bar to me. And there's we're trying to figure out the direction for Friday. So I would actually probably, to be honest with you, go with Thursday's high and low as a potential breakout in other direction.
Look, it's credit to the guys with the trading software, isn't it? That's a auto-written horizontal level. They've done the job beautifully, haven't they? That horizontal level comes stock standard with our trading software, and they have got that, and has done for a while. They've got that in a beautiful spot, haven't they? Got Geoff in the room. Geoff, any thoughts on cable?
Yeah, I do. And the thought is very, very much based on the dog that is known as the US dollar currently, and the other one, which is the pound, which is toss a coin right now, as far as I'm concerned. The pound has suffered dramatically since 2008. That level that Paul pointed out before has been very, very much a testing point since we broke through it and then came back below it. And we can't get it back above that level. So I don't see why we should right now, frankly. But I don't think we're in a technically perfect world with the pound and the US dollar currently, because I think both of them, well, the dollar's a dog. It can't rally. It's tried its heart out and it just can't. And the pound is under extreme pressure because of their prime minister at the end of the day, and Brexit talks failing. So I don't know. I'm really, from a bias point of view, I've got to be long pound US dollar, but can you trust the pound and can you trust the dollar at the moment? I'm leaving them both alone this week, frankly.
So we're doing Forex technical analysis right now with the team, and we will see. We've got Geoff in the room, we've got Ainslie in the room. Ainslie, any thoughts on cable for you?
It's just going sideways. I can't pick it. Sorry, I just no. There's no direction. It's up, it's down, it's sideways, and then the fundamentals are so strong at the moment. With the latest over the weekend was prepare for a second wave of coronavirus. What does that do?
I don't know how some of these countries keep calling it the second wave. We can prepare for the third time they've had a second wave in the UK for coronavirus. It just seems like
no. The first one was just overextended, and they didn't know what to do about it. But I think that's what they were calling it. But they were saying that it's coming, and they're coming into winter as well. So we're looking at a nice balmy 29 degrees here tomorrow, by the way. But and Melbourne is coming out of their second wave. But look at this. I mean, seriously.
Does anyone know where we are with the Brexit vote? Did they pass that on?
I don't know where they are with the Brexit vote.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Honestly, I said at the start of the show that at the moment Brexit looks a lot like Brexit, where just no one seems to have a clue. They just all look like a bunch of incompetents to me. You think they can sort, and people always say, look, they're going to sort something out, and I'm sure they are, but boy, they're determined to make it as difficult as they possibly can. It doesn't inspire much confidence.
Give them time, mate. They give them time. We're coming up to 5 years.
Yeah, well, mate, they're coming up to another deadline, aren't they?
Well, there's supposed to be a Boris deadline, I think, in a week or so, but the absolute deadline is December 31st, as I understand it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought they had to have an agreement before that. 31st is Action Day. I think they've got to have an agreement before. I'm not on Google to have a look right now. I'll come back to you on that. But there's some Forex technical analysis on cable. PH, anything else from you?
No, I mean, I haven't prepared it as a chart, but I really do like the downside potential on the US dollar yen. But I figured any of the other traders would probably talk about it
let's do the same thing, mate. I'm into my technical analysis right now. We're Forex traders, and we get so much stuff. We've got stuff coming up. We've got our gold expert coming up. We've got our oil expert coming up. We've got our cryptocurrency expert coming up. We've got Julian coming up and talk about market overviews. Let's go around the team again and have a look at this. Have a look at this US dollar yen chart, because I do like it. I think that is an interesting spot. And Julian, you've been the world's biggest dollar yen bear for a long time, and mate, there's not much holding this for a pretty big drop.
Yeah, Paul, it's quite interesting. Is that a weekly chart you've got there?
That's a weekly chart.
That's a weekly chart, yeah.
That one up.
Hey, Jules, turn your volume up.
All you guys moving houses and buying houses, it's hard to keep up with your stuff.
All over the shop. All over the shop. Oh my God.
On dollar yen. That closing price on dollar yen for the week. It's like years since we've had a price down here, right?
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
True.
What you're saying, sorry, Julian, you say close down here, right? It's years since we've had a close down here.
Down here a couple of times before, but in terms of closes, we haven't done many closes down here on the weekly chart for years. The last, I'm just going on the, well, okay, so the last time was 2016 on the monthly, and on the weekly it's here. So we, interestingly, we're only a couple of big figures away from putting a multi-month, that's first time since 2014, low in the yen. That would be really cool. Hey, I'm still bearish on dollar yen. How does that sound? There's my strap line.
Right, we're going to come and we are doing live Forex right now. We're doing live Forex, and but one of the things, Julian, the thing, and I'm going to go around the team on this, but the thing that stands out for me is that if it breaks this level, there ain't much holding it for quite a way. You know, it could go for a bit of a trip, couldn't it? I mean, we do have some lows to come up and then big lows to deal with. Between us and those lows, there's a bit of space, right?
Yeah, look, and so we were just talking about this in my trading group. We're discussing potential reasons as to why it was happening. Sometimes it's nice to actually have some justification on a multi-week move for the reasons why things are occurring. And actually, I believe my sense is here that a lot of people have been in Japan, have been playing the American growth trade in the stock market to get more performance out of their portfolios. And the last week, I know it's coincided with a prime minister in Japan, but realistically, prime ministers in Japan are traditionally very boring people who survive for about 18 months. So that isn't normally a newsworthy thing, but let's assume that it's a catalyst, and the move back to value that's starting to take place across American stock markets means that the Nikkei is benefiting at the moment as they move back to value. Now, normally when a currency strengthens, the stock market tends to weaken or certainly underperforms other stock markets. Well, that isn't the case at the moment. The last few days, the Nikkei's held together quite well, which suggests to me that people are bringing money home. And if they're bringing money home, it's not going to stop for a while.
Mate, it's, I think that's pretty reasonable, mate. I really do. I'm just having a look at some key dates for Brexit. So I'll see if I can get those up in a minute. Okay, so
Julian, I've got a question on that topic, because often when you see the currency fall, you see the stock market rise. So it's like a negative correlation. But in this case, we're seeing the yen strengthen significantly. But you're saying that you feel like the Nikkei is going to at least hold its own and possibly continue to rise as people repatriate money back into Japan, and they need to put it somewhere, right? And if the stock market's buoyant, then that's a likely place for it to go.
Yep, nailed it. That's exactly what I'm thinking right now. That's not a reason for me to change my, to trade. It's a justification for trading, but it's not the reason why I trade, Paul. But I think it's quite an important factor that would give it adds fuel to the fire of the dollar yen sell-off. So if we're going to test all of these lows and put what I consider to be a breakout low in place, then this is really the way to do it. You would construct this argument as people brought money, in which case there's no bottom to this, right? It goes down to 102 par, easy. Easy.
Right, you can put it all down. Sorry,
the high correlation between the dollar yen and gold is not apparent at the moment, because you can see the dollar yen just heading south. And with gold, we've got it going sideways quite dramatically. So it's on another pathway. So I know we've talked about in the past about how dollar yen and gold are inversely correlated. This doesn't apply, guys, at the moment. So just hang tight.
Cheers, Ainslie. Geoff, thoughts on dollar yen?
Yeah, we got into this during the week.
We're doing live work, mate. You got into this already. Nice.
Yeah. Well, because if you have a look at the stop it, the massive the massive selling bar about 2 weeks ago,
Yep.
it engulfed just about everything backwards and forward for the longest time. It's pretty,
just on the daily chart, Geoff,
yeah, daily chart.
You're talking about this one here.
That one right there, mate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So to me, that was a breakout. That was a breakout candle. So you could trade that either way, long or short, didn't matter. And it has now broken short of that. And the reason was it engulfed something like 19 bars prior and 14 bars post. So I figured that this is going to go one way or the other, and it's going to break out with a fair bit of potency. And we didn't actually trade the long, we only traded the short because we thought that was the way it was going to go. So we're into that. Yep. Happy. And if you guys are right, then we should get a fairly decent trade out of that.
Nice. Anyone else in the team want to have a chat about dollar yen? We're doing live Forex technical analysis. We are at it right now. Anyone from the team want to jump in before we move along on this?
No, I'm good.
Okay, look, I'm going to hand this over to Julian now as our guest. Julian, you've had a busy day. Thanks for coming in early with Ainslie to do the mentorship event where we talked about all kinds of interesting stuff, and including your broadcast group and results, mate. They are awesome. What are you looking at this week?
Thanks, Paul. Look, I think for me, the key thing this week is that I'm going to look at last week to give myself the clue for this week. So if somebody could throw an oil chart up for me, please. I think that would sort of highlight my thinking at the moment.
Oh, sorry.
Did I get the audience groaning?
That was me going, oh, oil, I missed it. But look at it.
No, you haven't.
Oh, oil.
Daily chart?
Daily's fine, thank you, Paul.
Okay.
I can't manage a time frame less than that at the moment.
Okay, sure.
Right, so oil broke down, has now rallied back. Now it's a sell.
So it's just closed that, reclosed that previous gap as well, Julian, right?
Yeah. I'm sure it has.
For mine.
I'm sort of, so how you play it from here, Paul, is whatever trading system we have, depending on how you trade, I would be on full alert for a short in oil from here. It's the seasonal time of year for oil to go down.
Sure.
It's broken down. It's rallied back. This is sort of what retracements are sort of all about. It just happens to be quite a big one, but that's to be expected because everybody got very excited when it first started to break down. I'm sure there's been a few shorts that have had to cover their positions back in. I still think unless we take out that final high of the red bar that you got there, which began the whole breakout move down. So there, thank you. You're short the stop loss above that.
Yeah, you're really good at this chart stuff. We should definitely keep you on for that. Thank you, Julian.
Just brilliant from the analyst there. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
It's not just the chart. It's not just the chart stuff. I kind of know what Julian's going to say next, kind of thing. It's a psychic link that we have, I think.
Mate, it's just amazing.
I wish.
We've gone from forensic analysis now to Cleveland win.
No, there's no psychic link, unfortunately.
So that's my theme for the week, Paul. So when I think about this, I'm thinking about other markets that have done the same thing. Other key point I've got is the euro. It's time up.
Okay.
Okay, so it's time up for decision. What worries me, and here's the worry wart in me, is that I wonder if we need to have a fifth wave in the euro. So Paul knows what I mean by that, but because obviously he's psychic, but What I worry about is that we've gone sideways for too long, and it hasn't retraced, it hasn't come back, it hasn't corrected. If anything, thank you, Paul, it's a slightly upward sloping channel. I'm not sure, I wasn't here for your analysis on this. I am wondering at the back of my mind, not that I've got my dollar strength, US dollar strength thesis wrong, timing. And I wonder if the euro has to go to 125 very quickly. However, the good news is breaking Thursday's low would completely disprove that thesis, and I might want to be short then.
PH, could you do me a favor? Could you straighten those? Because I'm getting a little bit off center. Could you just straighten those parallel, orange parallel lines and give me a...
No, they are straight, Ainslie. What you've got to do is turn your head slightly sideways.
No, I can't.
It's not, but it's not a horizontal channel. It's actually a slightly uptrending channel.
I know, but I want to see a
You want to see this, do you? Do you want to see that?
Better. A little bit better. A little bit more. A little.
But there's no, I can't do that because there's no lows that justify. I can do this.
I know. I can hear you. Now I can see it. But yeah, I like it straight. It does my head in otherwise. But yeah,
I think we can safely say it's gone nowhere for 2 months. We can conclude that, can't we?
Yeah.
We didn't spend any time on it, Julian. I just opened up the chart and said this is about as boring as paint drying. So
no, oh my God, no. Yes, it is boring. Yes, you're dead right. It's entirely boring as watching paint dry, and I've had to do a bit of that recently. So and actually it is really boring. But the euro is not that boring. I feel that time is up. My worry is that we're into one of Ash's favourite chart patterns about to unfold.
What, a head and shoulders?
No, well, yeah. It's more Hunchback of Notre Dame, don't you think?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
It's 3 little Indians.
Hence the reason why I think Thursday's price action is critical. So right? And the reaction to it is absolutely critical. A close below Thursday's low, to me, would be catastrophic for the euro.
So Julian, if that's the breakout short, the close below Thursday, and that makes a lot of sense to me. There's been some buying down there, and you know that level looks like close below that we are going down. Do you have a level where we confirm we're going up?
No.
Okay.
Anywhere above that, probably.
So we're looking for really this close below Thursday, and then we can start to have a look at a target for the short size. That's certainly been all over the place.
It's a bit like Geoff said. It's so Geoff was saying that there are some bars which are pretty critical. That one in dollar yen, by the way, Geoff, you were dead right, and that's exactly the way that I was trading it as a result of that. I think we're in the same camp with the euro. I think Thursday's price action, which was the ECB, that was the ECB stuff, wasn't it? God help us. Lagarde saying yet again nothing. Do you know the most really disappointing central banker of the year prize will definitely go to Christine Lagarde. Let's just say opportunity wasted 18 times.
You were really looking forward to her, weren't you? You were really looking forward to her taking the reins, and she has failed, hasn't she?
I gave her way too well. Maybe there's a bit of politics involved.
Yeah,
but yeah.
No, she's being smart. Sorry, I think she's watching all the other rubbish going on, and she's playing it smart. She'll hit a stride soon. Don't you worry.
Look,
I'm hoping so. Actually, I have faith in her.
We've had a team discussion on euro. We've had a team discussion on something else. We had a team discussion on pound. We had a team discussion on something else. I'm keen to get through what Julian wants to have a look at and move along, because we are doing live forex, and we've got the crypto guy waiting, the gold lady waiting, the oil lady waiting. Julian, you've gone oil short and you've gone euro short below Thursday's low. Nice and clear for mine. Both of these, nice and clear and tradable. What else are you having a look at for this week?
Well, there's the dollar yen as well too, Paul. I'm pretty negative on that, and I think probably that's so. Other interesting things that I think are happening out there is still some hint of a buyer in dollar CAD and a buyer in the Swissy.
Interesting, isn't it? It's, so what we're looking at a bit of a mixed US dollar week for you, Julian.
Yeah, it is actually, which is the reason why I'm sort of in a bit of a quandary about the direction.
Yeah, I get it.
So do quite like. I'm certain dollar CAD's going up, but I'm not. I'm becoming less certain by the day. And again, the pattern on the Swissy is the short term's probably better than the long term, but it's still pretty clear to me that maybe there's something else going on there too.
Fantastic. So dollar CAD again above Thursday's bar for the long, PH for Julian.
Yeah, that sort of makes sense. I think I've got to have this proved otherwise, right? So it's I can't believe I'm saying this. I've had a couple of goes at dollar CAD and not really got it right. And so Thursday's bar is pretty critical to me. I think you could probably risk something even higher, even lower than that, I think. I think it depends. How about this? I'll rephrase. I think it depends where it opens tomorrow. If it opens lower, I probably want to be a buyer. I'm
a big fan of the thing that you were talking about, key bars, and we're looking at dollar CAD here.
Yep.
That bar that put us, that buying bar that put us into this range looks pretty important to me. I love big decisive bars at the start of ranges when price stays inside the range of that bar. So the bar back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 10 days ago, PH.
Yeah, I see it. It's a low test bar, right?
No, I'm looking at the decisive buying bar back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The big green bar.
Okay, this one
seems a bit of a theme around that.
Oh, this one. This one.
The start of the range, and again, I really like to see decisive bars at the front of ranges. It always feels to me that the break of that decisive bar will give us direction. That's just always the way I've looked at. I love that particular pattern. So Julian, interesting time, interesting week ahead. I'm still feeling like Monday's a watching day. Do we need to see this shake out a little bit to get clearer?
Yeah, a little bit. I think so. And I think it really depends where the open is on Monday in quite a few of these markets. And I'll be looking at those and taking action as a result of it.
Right, guys, I'd like to now open it up to all of you guys for some conversation on any of that. Any questions you've got, any comments on any of the stuff we've done with Julian. Let's run through it now. We've been through a bit more stuff with him. Anyone got anything to offer on it?
Yeah, I'll offer on oil very quickly. There were 3 reasons for that rally this week, and I was kicking myself because I was. But look at it; it's closed twice now on that 200 moving average, and there were 3 reasons. Hurricane Sally caused a lot of outages. 2, there was a drawdown in oil storage, so we saw a real pull up. So that was the first time in a long time that we've actually heard there's a drawdown on oil storage. Excellent news. And 3, I don't know who put this out there, but it was commented that there is a high compliance from the OPEC countries meeting quotas. Now, we know that won't last for long, but there you go. Well, boys were playing nicely in the sandpit, and we got that, and that's what caused that rally. So if everybody's going, we're looking for that sell-off, and we're waiting for that. We're waiting for that sell-off, but we saw that a huge spike up in. Well, I guess it's not a huge spike, is it? But it's big in current terms, I guess. And that's the fundamental reasons for the uptake in oil.
Rightio. Okay. Anything else on Julian? Julian, anything else from you?
No, Paul, I'm done. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. It's always nice to have your guest in. It's always great when you turn up, and thank you very much for the mentorship stuff earlier on. Later in the show, I'm going to show you a broadcast record just because I love doing it. I'll need to log in for the other computer to do that. So I'll do that while somebody else is speaking. We go from Julian as our guest. We go to Shukri on crypto, Ainslie on gold, and Ping Ni on oil. Guys, what do we got?